Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the WAN show. It's been another week, which means you have to sit through another WAN show. That is to say, you want to sit through another WAN show because no one is actually forced to sit through the WAN show except Luke.
Yeah, and you.
And me.
Yeah. Have you heard this song?
There's a song.
I didn't think about it until you just did that intro. Someone made an electronic song recently using like our voices as some of the lines in the song, and he intros the song with you introing the WAN show.
No, I have not heard the song.
He tweeted it at your personal account. You should check it out.
Okay. I haven't actually looked at my personal Twitter in like...
I suspected kind of as much.
Probably a couple of weeks.
Oh, someone just linked it in chat. Apparently people... Yeah.
Nice. Okay, give me just a minute here. I gotta get logged into Floatplane so I can see our Floatplane peeps. And
one of the things we're going to talk about this week is YouTube copyright being kind of craziness.
Yeah.
But actually a fairly positive story from it. At least a quick turnaround.
So there's a couple of actual. So I was really what I wanted to do was explain the difference between a content ID match and a copyright strike.
Okay.
Because there seems to be a lot of confusion, and was
that a content ID match?
There was a significant. Well, it depends which controversy you're talking about. Because there was a controversy we were wrapped up in.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, so we'll get into that a little bit later.
Exciting.
And then in terms of other topics,
spicy.
James has been busy shooting the Monoprice gaming battle station video with me for the last couple of hours. So he's done very little actual preparation of the WAN show document today.
There's some stuff.
But there is some stuff. Activision Blizzard laid off 800 people. Which is like, what, 10% of their staff? 8%, pardon me. So we'll talk about that.
Despite making, as far as I know, very good profits.
Yep, so we'll talk more about that later. And what else we got?
A European link tax language has been finalized.
Ooh, link taxes. So YouTube's copyright enforcement is probably going to get more complicated as opposed to less complicated if all of that stuff goes through. So this is closely related to the Article 13 controversy that was going on a couple of months back.
Article 13 stuff is still going on.
Oh, yeah. Very much still a thing. This is just, it kind of reached a fever pitch a couple of months ago.
The Article 13 pitchforks are pretty important for me, so keep them up if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, if you want to make Luke's job not, like, phenomenally way more difficult...
It's gonna the biggest problem in my opinion, even though I'm trying to become a platform, I still think the biggest problem in my opinion is for creators, because it's going to increase the wall for creators coming into the market. It's going to make creators lose their jobs because it's going to be harder for the platforms. It's going to cost more for the platforms to support themselves, meaning it's going to be harder for the creators.
So we'll talk about it in more detail later. First, the intro.
I saw this coming, and I don't know why. The way you said the intro, I was like, he's not going to click it right away. I don't know why. I have no idea.
Honey!
Pia! Oh, Squarespace! The best sponsor spot.
It's like if I'm them, I'm like looking at this and going, how much do I pay for
this? What even is this?
Like, what?
Why are we...
What even is this show about?
Why are we supporting these guys?
I don't even know. All right. So the first thing I want to jump into is actually we're going to do the title topic right now.
Yeah.
It's amazing. This has never been done before.
Probably first in a while.
So I'm gonna try and find it on the forum. I'm not logged into the forum. There's reasons for that. Basically, security, privacy reasons for that.
Yeah.
But it just makes it harder for me to find this particular thread. Blah 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 blah. Oh, seriously? Oh man, what was the search term? I'm pretty sure it had strike and Linux in the thread somewhere. So let's go ahead and find that puppy.
Okay.
Actually, do we want to talk about the You know what? Let's talk about what happened to Kyle first.
Kyle won, yeah. Okay.
So Kyle's our bud.
Yeah.
You know what? We'd be on Team Kyle, regardless of whether he was right or not. Just kidding. We wouldn't actually. If Kyle was wrong, we would say he was wrong. We have that kind of relationship. We'd be like, Kyle and Lyle, y'all are both wrong, so y'all need to just back down. Yeah. Anyway, so here's what happened. I should preface this by saying it has been resolved.
Yeah.
So here's a tweet from Kyle from 2 days ago. Good news and update. My counter notification to Vox's claim was reviewed by YouTube in my favor. The reaction video is back up. So a couple of months back, Kyle posted a video on his Bitwit YouTube channel, also on Floatplane, reacting to The Verge's, should we call it a PC building guide?
It also never came off of Floatplane. But yeah.
That's a whole separate conversation. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
So to The Verge's PC building guide that was just phenomenally poorly done. Like, it turned into just an instant legendary level meme.
You don't use tweezers and a Swiss Army knife to build your computer?
And I never wear a Livestrong bracelet, regardless of whether I'm building a computer.
On your ankle or your
It just contained a ton of, at best, dubiously correct information. And
I hope your computer case has rubber feet below the power supply, or else you might get shocked.
Yeah, it was really, really poorly done. Anyway, so he went into this character that he calls Lyle because, fun fact, Kyle is half Asian, which I actually didn't know until at one point. I'm super tactful. We're like at dinner. I'm like, so what ethnicity are you? Because I just couldn't tell. In fairness to me, he's mixed. So it's not like I was, if I was going to guess, pure blood anything, then I was going to be wrong, regardless. Okay?
Yeah.
Anyway, he's like, yo, I'm half Asian. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Anyway, so that's why he's allowed to do this character, which for anyone else to do would be incredibly racist. So he has this kind of heavily Chinese accented Lyle character that he uses to kind of provide broken English feedback on various things. In this case, he did a reaction to The Verge's PC building guide. It's actually very funny. No offense to anything else Kyle's ever done, but it was by far the best video he's ever created. Bar none. I mean, it helps that the source material that he was working with was comedy gold.
Absolute gold.
And all he had to do was platinum plate it, and it was just like, wow, this is quality right now. Look.
And if you're interested, it is back up on his YouTube channel, or it never went off of his Floatplane channel.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up for the second time.
No
whatever
problem.
Your name is, Luke.
I got you.
Yeah, that should be your alternate character, Kook. I don't know what accent you can do, though.
I have no clue.
Nothing politically correct, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the days, so let's go back in time again. In the days following The Verge's original upload, there was just massive backlash throughout the PC building community. We mostly, I think, stayed out of it. I think we posted a couple tweets, just kind of tongue-in-cheek. But lots of people, not just Kyle, quite a few people posted like video responses. There was some pretty in-depth discussion on our forum about it just because it was so bad. Anyway, The Verge stood by it for a while.
That was weird.
Which was what made it far worse. If they had just said, hey, we were wrong. Because honestly, rather than make fun of them, my first outreach to them was,
hey, do you want some help?
Do you guys want to collaborate to take another shot at this? And they just never replied. So they never replied to just an earnest offer of help, and then they doubled down. And the creator of the video in particular said some pretty stupid stuff on Twitter. I don't remember any of the particulars because it was a while ago, but just basically defending it like, oh yeah, well, we fixed those things after the video. Like, then don't call it a guide, then.
Yeah.
It's not a guide if it was broken at the end.
It was like actually problematic because it was a guide. Which added a lot of problems. It wasn't like, hey, I'm building a computer, you want to watch? It was, this is how.
If they had made mistakes in the context of doing like an IRL Twitch stream.
Yeah. Which we saw very recently.
Everybody does something for the first time and doesn't do it perfectly at some point. Believe it or not. Like, if you've ever watched me do anything related to my car, you'll know. You'll know what's up. I don't think you have, but it's bad. It's a bad scene.
I'm bad with that kind of stuff, too.
Or, like, watching me use tools. I mean, you wouldn't know. You're just as bad as me, but our audience knows what's up.
I used a lot of them for the first time with you.
Yeah.
Do you remember this? Do you remember the tape? The tape protection?
Oh, Lord. Yeah. It's a good thing we both still have both of our eyes.
Yeah. It's true.
So what made it worse was just not acknowledging the problems and doubling down, and then making it even worse than that. Here we are these months later. So
everyone has kind of forgotten about it.
Yeah, The Verge did eventually pull their video.
Yeah.
Not before they, like, hid the like-dislike bar, hid comments. Like, they tried everything to keep it up. But eventually they were just like, yeah, this is probably a problem, and pulled it down. Then what happened is earlier this week? What's the actual date on this? February 12th. February 12th, they issued a copyright strike. So they issued a DMCA takedown request for Kyle's video. So not only did Vox Media, the owner of The Verge, go and have the video removed from their own channel, which is well within their right to do, and probably for the best, they went out and they submitted a takedown request for Kyle's video. Now, here's the problem with that. Were you keeping track of what was going on with Ethan Klein and that reaction video that he posted that he ended up taking all the way to court?
It's been a bit, but I watched I watched all of the lawyers' videos on it, and I watched theirs videos.
Sorry. For those who, I don't know, some people just know him by H3. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a podcast and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, Ethan Klein, H3.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So what happened there, and I'm a little rusty on the details, but basically what happened was H3 used to upload a lot more just kind of, what do I call them?
They'd like watch a video and like cringe at it, basically.
Yeah, reaction like takedowns, like just like where they just kind of crap on the original video creator. And so what happened in that case, and I forget what the name of the person who issued the takedown was, and it doesn't matter because screw that guy. We're not going to talk about that guy.
Good call.
But he got upset because Ethan was mean to him. And in his defense, Ethan was pretty mean. And it was like
some
kind
of those videos
unnecessary.
from back then used to be pretty brutal.
Yeah, like just kind of unnecessary, but I guess it gets views, so cool. Yeah. Anyway, he got mad. And he was like, well, hold on a second. Ethan's video contains a ton of my copyrighted material. I should be able to DMCA take down that because it's got my content in it. The issue is that there's a little thing called fair use. So Ethan's defense was, well, look, this is fair use because I am critiquing it. I am, so there's basically four fair use factors. So you can use someone else's copyrighted material as long as you can defend your sort of fair use of it. Now, the problem is that fair use is a really gray and nebulous part of copyright law. It's not as simple as, like, if you meet criterias X, Y, Z, and Omega, you qualify as fair use. And there are some guidelines. So you'll notice, for example, I forget what the actual number of seconds is, but news shows will often limit the amount of source material that they use to, like, 10 seconds or something along those lines. But that's not the law.
Because, like, consider if you just posted, like, a half-hour video that someone else made, and every 45 seconds you went, good. That's not really transformative. That's not really, like, it's not really a review. So, like, where is the hard line? It's a very hard line to actually place.
Yeah. So there's a number of things. There's the amount and the substantiality of the content that has been reused. So that's why news programs will take, like, 10 seconds, because then it's not the whole thing.
It's pretty easy to argue.
There's the purpose and character of the use. Does it have its own purpose for existing? There's the nature of the copyrighted work. So if it was something along the lines of a, let's say, an instructional video, and you were to go ahead and take each step of the instructions, have it be up on screen, running in its entirety, and go, that seems like a good idea, like kind of like what Luke was saying, then that would sort of affect whether or not that would be considered fair use. And then finally, there's the effect upon the work's value, which is closely related, where if I were to create my video, commenting, good job, original video creator, every once in a while it plays, would that affect their ability to monetize that content? Yeah. Probably. So you can end up with a really solid fair use argument for utilizing all kinds of content. Like movie review channels rely heavily on fair use because in a lot of cases, they'll have 5, 10, 15 minutes of unedited, like Hollywood movies playing on the channel. But the reason they can get away with that is that they are reusing it for the purpose of critique. They are commenting on it, and it doesn't affect the ability of that Hollywood studio to monetize that content because no one is watching that review and going, oh, I have fully enjoyed all the nuances of the editing, cinematography, soundtrack, acting, and story. It's not like that.
Yeah.
So it's highly transformative. It's for critique or review, which is generally pretty well protected by fair use. The nature of the copyrighted work here is movie, so that's very separate from how it's being used, and the effect on the work's value is arguably very little. Now, the problem with all of that is it's all gray. And fair use, rather than being just a hard and fast law, is an argument that you have to defend in court. So if someone issues a DMCA takedown, the only way to dispute it, if you say, no, this is fair use, and they say, actually it's not, is to take them to court and have the courts agree with you. So now, this has been a very long story. We're finally coming back to the issue with H3H3's critique video of this weird guy's video that he uploaded that was dumb. He won, basically. So even though he had uploaded almost the entire original video and was just kind of interspersing his reactions to it, that was still considered critique and it was still considered transformative. A reaction video was deemed to be original content, even though it was heavily dependent on the original copyrighted work. All right. So, how does this figure into Kyle's thing? Basically, Vox Media pulled a full douche move here and issued a DMCA takedown for what has been maybe not proven, but at least preliminarily tested by the courts to be a fair use rebroadcast of a copyrighted work. And the only reason I can think of that they would do that, aside from just being embarrassed and acting out of sort of like initial knee-jerk reaction, which they clearly didn't because it's been a couple months.
It's been a while, yeah.
Is either because they are ignorant of this sort of pre-existing case, or because they are just trying to bully and intimidate a much, much smaller outfit into just not disputing it because they're afraid that if they do dispute it, the next step is court fees. Neither of those are great. And honestly, I mean, I can't speak to the mindset of the executives at Vox Media or whoever it is that ultimately decided to do this. But my gut feeling is that they were just going pure intimidation factor. Because I can tell you guys, as someone who was a much smaller, like we're at a point now where if someone came after us like an H3, we could say, okay, see you in court, buddy. Fine. If that's how it's going to be, it's how it's going to be. Let's do it. Let's dance. But there was a time when we weren't. And I remember getting these kinds of strikes or content ID notices and being like, is this it? Is this the end of this company? Yeah. Because that's what it would have been.
It gets really scary.
It's absolutely scary.
And it's been happening to people where it has resulted in being the end of them in regards to being a content creator.
So,
or at least on that platform.
Basically,
apparently The Verge has an official response.
Do they really?
No YOLO snail. I do not think we have seen their
Oh, I
official
would love to
response.
see. Do you want to fire that up while I go
I'm
ahead?
going to try to find it, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to finish up a couple thoughts. So basically, this leaves the DMCA takedown system open to abuse by copyright owners who just want to, in some cases, just remove something that they don't like. So here's one. PewDiePie got copyright striked because a Twitch streamer took offense. There was one YouTuber who was extorted for money through bogus copyright strikes. And that's funny. Even not through YouTube's system, we had some copyright holder for some like classical sheet music in Germany come after us, demanding, I think it was like $10,000 or something stupid like that, for a song that we used in a video that was actually from YouTube's music library. This was a few years back. And I was super upset because I was like, okay, I don't really understand how this works. International music copyright law, crazy complicated because there's separate copyrights for the performance, for the original sheet music, and I was looking at it going, well, this is ridiculous because I'd be happy to pay some kind of fee because we did use the sheet music, but $10,000 or whatever it was, like that's extortionate. Like we made a fraction of that off the AdSense of the video and the sponsors that we inserted into it. How can you possibly expect me to pay you more than I made? Well, then you shouldn't have used the song in the first place. Ultimately, we just didn't pay because we kind of figured some rando holding company, like copyright holder in Germany, what are they going to ultimately do to us? Like fly their lawyers out here and like, come on, you got to be kidding me. And they didn't end up following it up, but we were in a position where we could afford to take that risk. Do you want me to go ahead and screen share you?
Sure.
All right.
It's basically a big wall of text, so there isn't a ton for you guys to look at. But what they're saying is the legal team, Vox Media's legal team, who was very diligent and protective of their work, was made aware of some PC video reaction stuff and filed
Did not
takedowns.
meet our standards and had so they pulled their stuff. Okay, cool. Okay, I misread that. Cool.
That comment was actually totally fine. Apparently it was two videos as far as I know. Said those two videos used 90% of our footage without any edits, cuts or other transformative use. One in particular is featured what our legal team felt was a pretty racist character. I can't
necessarily disagree with that, but it's also like none of your business. But
he didn't edit their footage, but I think in reviewing footage, that's probably the more respectful thing to do, and he cut himself in, which is probably exactly what should have been done. Anyways, there was also a complaint, I don't remember exactly where they said it, of where everything could have been avoided if they just reached out to this person.
How would I know to reach out to Nile Patel?
Yeah.
Okay. And besides, here's something. You know what? No, hold on a minute. Okay, Nile. Why didn't you reach out to Kyle if you had a problem?
A lot of times, to be completely honest, and you don't want to use it all that often, but being a creator, sometimes Twitter is like one of your most useful things.
Yeah.
Because things don't get done, and then you tweet about it, then it gets done very fast.
Or better yet, you could just, I guarantee Kyle has an email address on his YouTube channel that you can use to email him. 99% of the medium to large creators that I've been made aware of do have such a thing. I'm curious now. But anyway, I'm going to throw it back on your screen. So you're sharing.
Yeah, so the specific quote about that part is, I want to address the situation around some YouTube copyright strikes, since retracted, which is true as far as I know, issued by The Verge and Vox Media that have gotten pretty toxic and could have been avoided if the parties involved had simply reached out to me directly. Again, there was the 90% of our footage without any edits, cuts, or otherwise transformative use. And one of them featured a particular, that the legal team said was a particularly racist character. Again, I don't think anyone in any form of review would want to edit the original footage. I don't think that's the point at all.
Kyle does not have an email on his YouTube page. He does have an address, though, and he does have his Twitter. So, yep, you're right. Twitter would have been the way to go here. All right.
Pretty easy.
Fair point.
YouTube notified the 2 channels in question, said there was a chance our request wouldn't make it through, and our legal team
Asked our legal team for their case.
Our team made the case. YouTube agreed the videos were not fair use and issued the strikes. When this was brought to my attention a few hours later, I told them that although I fully agreed with their legal argument, I did not think we should use copyright strikes against legitimate channels, even if we thought the videos crossed the line. And again, I fully agree with our legal team that these videos cross the line of fair use.
So basically, they wow. Okay, so basically they haven't learned anything.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: whether or not, like, does this post actually say that their lawyers felt like the character was racist? Because that has nothing to do.
It does, but I don't think that was a reason for the action.
Okay.
So I don't think it actually applies. It does say that.
Our legal team felt this was not fair use, and those 2 reaction videos. Oh, okay.
One of them in
what
particular.
our legal team felt was a pretty racist character. Yeah, but you don't get to just let your personal sensitivities get involved in a legal issue.
Yeah.
So whether or not it's fair use actually doesn't really have anything to do with whether you like the character being portrayed or not.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, we could have a whole conversation that it's probably best that I personally stay out of about whether or not it's a racist character if the person happens to be of at least partially the race that they are making fun of. I mean, are you going to tell me that, like, a Jewish comedian is not allowed to make Jewish mother jokes, for example? Are you gonna say that? It seems like kind of a dumb thing to say.
What does have strong evidence in here
Yeah.
of straight up screenshot emails is technically in here it doesn't say, because he blurred out his email, which is or hers. Sorry, I don't actually know who this is, but it blurred out their email, so I'm not 100% sure it was them, but that doesn't matter. It looks like someone from @voxmedia.com email account retracted the copyright infringement. So it wasn't YouTube that agreed with Kyle. It was clearly someone from Vox retracting the claim.
Okay, hold on a second. Meridian in the chat. I gotta disagree with you. An Asian faking an accent of another Asian that can't speak English in the normal way is just as racist as if a white guy did it. Lols, but that has nothing to do with legality here. It's actually not. Racist is to do with race. Making fun of someone's accent, yeah, it's rude. It's really rude.
Yeah, but
it's not race.
I guess with that, yeah.
So let's just make sure that we're not getting our terminology wires crossed here. It's not race.
Accent is where you're from.
Yes. Or in some cases, not even.
Yeah, because you could make...
My wife is not from Canada. Most assuredly speaks with a West Coast Canadian accent.
Like where you spent your formative years, most of your formative years?
But to say that it would be...
I don't know.
Like, yeah.
Anyways,
anyway.
Again, the strikes were retracted at my specific instruction. That seems to be true. Not through any YouTube dispute process. Also seems to be true. The Verge has written many times about the problems with YouTube's copyright enforcement mechanism, and I do not think it works well enough for us to use it in cases like this. Okay. One thing I did not do was tweet about it, because I didn't think the nuance of this situation would lend itself to tweets. And also,
are we still reading this garbage?
Sure.
Oh,
and
man.
also, quite honestly, because I didn't think it was a big deal. There were strikes, and the strikes were retracted. I assumed everyone would move on.
Well, this article is not making it better. just if you want my 2 cents,
and just to
which
be
you
clear,
probably don't.
Sending a
wait,
strike...
Wait, hold on. If we have these words on screen, is this fair use? Get the words off the screen! We used 90% of the words! Is my character racist? I don't know about that there, bud. Is that a racist character there, bud? Oh, we got a big problem there, bud.
I think the problem is you're just 10 ply, bud.
Oh, no, bud. You want to go for a rip there, bud?
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Oh, man. I guess... okay. Yeah.
Are we done here?
I mean, we can be. Reading it out directly is probably going to be... I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, that whole thing's
Okay,
stupid.
so what I was going to say is there were strikes, the strikes were retracted thing.
Yep.
Yeah, but they weren't retracted immediately.
And they
were
weren't-
retracted very quickly. I will 100% give you that if you're watching, which you're probably not. But they weren't retracted immediately. And strikes are a direct attack
Yes.
on someone's income and stability.
3 strikes and you are out.
Kyle just bought a house.
Yo, he certainly did.
This is scary.
And strikes also immediately affect your channel. 1 strike and you
Yeah.
can't live stream.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Like it's a big problem. It's not okay.
Yeah.
It's an attack. It is straight up an attack.
And the other thing too is that there are alternatives to copyright to DMCA taking down something that don't result in a strike.
Like doing the thing that you said at the beginning of your article of reaching out directly to Kyle.
Yeah, that's an option. But I don't know, he's a pretty racist guy. They probably don't want to talk to him.
Lyle can be mean.
Yeah, Lyle's a rude dude.
The Verge's YouTube channel has since been brigaded with dislikes and nasty comments, and there are now death threats we have to think about. Here's one. Good luck staying alive. The internet doesn't forget. Just to be super clear about that one,
How is that-
99% sure he's
That
talking
means the
about
site.
the site and the YouTube channel, not you. Think you're okay. At least with that one. That's the only one shown here, so at least with that one.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was all pretty disappointing, blah, 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 blah. Simply ask me about it. You should have asked him about it before attacking. I hope everyone involved can take a moment and think about making sure they actually know what they think they know and the value of communicating directly instead of just simply reacting. That was gold. The end of that was just gold. I don't even think I need to talk about that part. That's just, whew, that's that whole, oh man. Ending it with that was great. Thank you. That was fantastic. Oh man, I couldn't have, I don't even know. I couldn't have requested a better last paragraph.
All right. So now let's move on to a controversy that I woke up to on the forum this morning.
I'm very interested in this because I have not heard of this.
So this was posted by Firelighter487 on the forum. The Linux Gamer did a response video to... I actually didn't even know about this video until I found out about it reading about this drama that I was embroiled in on the forum this morning. Anyway, did a response video to our Linux Gaming Finally Doesn't Suck video. And then...
Okay. Sorry. Can we jump back for a split second?
Yes.
Can you jump to my screen?
I can.
Apparently this is Nile.
Yeah, okay, cool.
It's Reckless. I knew his Twitter handle. I didn't actually
What do you mean
remember his name.
before any of it went sideways? Oh, it was pretty sideways by then.
Reverse the strike on Wednesday. When was Kyle's original tweet?
Did Paul basically post on Twitter exactly what we just said? You could have also just reached out to Kyle. Is that what I saw just there?
Give me 1 second.
Oh boy, yeah, you're still screen sharing. Is that cool?
I think we're fine.
Okay, cool. That's the float plane stream, by the way.
Yeah.
Hold on, I want to see what Paul said at the beginning here. This all could have been avoided if the parties involved had... Yeah, love it! I love you, Paul. You're awesome. You're awesome, dude.
Good job, Paul.
Oh.
But yeah, so apparently the strike was pulled back on Wednesday by Nile.
Yeah.
But it happened on Tuesday. That is really fast turnaround, to be completely honest. That might have been like right when he was made aware of it, to be clear. It might have been.
Might have been.
That is quite fast turnaround. But it still happened. And yeah, I don't know. Dude doesn't own Vox. He's editor-in-chief of The Verge, and that was Vox Lawyers. So it might have happened completely unbeknownst to him. I don't remember exactly what he said about that in the article, but he might have literally said that. I don't know. But yeah,
Okay.
we can move on.
Now
Sorry.
we can talk about...
Important context.
Now we can talk about this video, where the Linux Gamer uploaded this thing. Full screen claimed my Linus Tech Tips response video. So basically, some people were pretty upset. Some people kind of understood it, but a lot of people were drawing parallels to the situation between Vox Media and Kyle. Let's just have a look here. Some people were like particularly mad. Let's see if I can find any of that. Blah, 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 blah.
So sorry, wait, what happened?
So far, this is mostly discussion of, like, the content of his response video and, like, whether our video was okay and whether, whatever. Here's discussion of whether or not we have any kind of partnership with Fullscreen. Yes, we joined the Fullscreen multi-channel network, like, 4 years ago. I forget what the point of it was. I think... Oh, no, I think I do remember. So we were actually, Twitch, for a very short period of time, actually had a YouTube MCN. So we were partnered with them. And then they, like, dissolved that. The girl who was in charge of it was there for, like, 6 months and then just, like, disappeared one day. And I was like, oh, okay. Bye, I guess. Anyway, so we joined Fullscreen because some of our buddies, including Austin, were with Fullscreen at the time. They had a rep that was bringing them lots of deals, and we were like, oh, yeah, sure, yeah, I guess we'll be on Fullscreen too. And Fullscreen had like kind of a smooth-talking, blowhard guy that was like, yeah, we're going to have like all the tech. And I'm like, yeah, cool, you're an idiot, but like, whatever. My buds are on there, so sure, why not? Anyway, shortly after we joined Fullscreen, this rep who had been doing such a great job of bringing tech deals to other tech influencers left and like kind of went direct with those guys. And then we just like never got off it.
Because it didn't really matter.
So here's something that you guys might not know. Once you decouple your account from... So okay, just to clarify, wait. I'm not sure if I can say the terms of the deal. So I won't say what the terms of our deal with Fullscreen are, but I will say that we signed our deal at a time when MCMs were much more hungrily trying to hoover up creators. And it was at a time when it was possible to get what's known as a 100% deal. So nowadays, my understanding is that the MCN takes anywhere from 5 or 10 or even more % of your AdSense views, and in exchange they're supposed to provide a bunch of services, including the one we're about to talk about, as well as bring you like larger brand deals to more than make up for that gleaning that they do off the top. Yeah. But we signed on at a time when it was possible that MCNs, just to have headline creators on their networks, were signing people to crazy deals where they didn't take any share whatsoever. So our deal, I can't tell you what the terms of it are, but I can say that it is such that it doesn't bother us in any meaningful way. And something that I didn't know until I switched MCNs a couple times was that you actually lose all of your historical revenue data from your YouTube dashboard if you change your MCN, or if you get rid of your MCN and you go vanilla YouTube. So Tech Quickie and Channel Superfun are, and actually TechLinked for that matter, and Linus Cat Tips, are all just directly YouTube partnered with no MCN. And then Linus Tech Tips is on the Fullscreen network, but we do very little with Fullscreen. They bring us very little in terms of like deals or anything.
It's like almost an understatement.
Okay. So anyway, there's some speculation in here that we aren't on the Fullscreen network. We are. And there's also some speculation in here that they like own us, which they most certainly do not. Yeah, that's not a thing. Linus Media Group Incorporated is entirely independent and has no third-party ownership stakes in it whatsoever. Okay, blah, 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 blah. It's a multi-channel network. Here's a video from Game Theorist. Good old Game Theorist. Good stuff. Okay, blah, 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 blah. MCN handle copyright. Okay, where are the people that are mad? I think it, like, didn't happen until later. Here we go. Oh, no, what? Oh, Misanthrope. Just so mad. So mad about everything. Okay, whatever. You know what? I can't find it right now. Basically, people were upset because they really just didn't see... Oh, that's great. Okay, yeah, fine. There we go. Right there. Still not a crime like perjury, which is potentially what Linus did by bringing down this... by having a content ID claim against this video. What? When did Linus lie under oath during a court hearing? For legal purposes, that's what a DMCA claim is. lying under oath. A, no it isn't, but B, falsely reporting a crime is basically what he's saying, but it was an automatic claim that was actually generated by YouTube's own Content ID system. And yeah, so someone got it pretty right. Here we go. Spotty. Thank you, Spotty, for this excellent post here. You seem to be misinformed. There's a huge difference between a copyright strike, a DMCA takedown, and a Content ID claim. So copyright strikes come from DMCA takedowns like what Vox Media did with Kyle's video, where their lawyers get together, decide it's racist and not fair use, and contact YouTube and have that thing pulled. Content ID is an automated system based on like machine learning and being fed a bunch of known content that
is mostly designed so that like if you have a bot that automatically downloads someone's videos and like re-uploads them on your own channel, it's just going to find that and be like, that's garbage, and just clean that up.
Yes. And there's a big difference in what effect it actually has on the channel. So a copyright strike results in your channel actually getting features pulled from it and potentially removed if you get enough of them.
Like live streaming.
A Content ID claim, what happens is you get a notification. You get an email that you've received a Content ID claim, and then you get the timestamp sometimes. You get the timestamps within the video that the Content ID system has determined are a match for someone else's copyrighted works. Then you get a chance to file a dispute. And I actually didn't know this particular aspect of it until last week, but this is cool. In the event that, oh right, and what happens is the video actually stays up. You keep all your views, you keep your dislikes, your subscribers, or whatever. But the monetization of that video goes to the original copyright holder. But this is something interesting. If you dispute that claim within a pretty short period of time, and I don't know if this is actually in YouTube's terms of service, so I don't want to someone told me, so I don't want to nail them down on exactly what that is. I don't know if they're going to change it or whatever else. But if you dispute it fairly promptly, and it doesn't have to be within the first hour or anything like that, but pretty promptly, what happens is that not only does the video not go away, but you actually get to take that money back that was claimed by the copyright holder in the meantime. You don't actually lose any of your revenue. So Content ID...
You have to be pretty quick on that one.
It's like days.
Yeah.
But don't waste time,
yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
So Content ID is actually a much more benign and less harmful way of dealing with this than I think a lot of people necessarily understand, as evidenced by some of the reactions in the video here, in the forum thread here. Because all you have to do is say, no, actually, I own the copyright to this, or no, this is fair use. Again, knowing, though, that they could come back and say, actually, it's not fair use.
And it's one clarification there is it's not YouTube coming back. It's them, the
original
person
copyright
who
holder
filed it originally.
Yeah.
So if you're like, hey, this is actually fine, they could just be like, no. So there is that power imbalance there.
Yes, but at the very least, they aren't striking you. And that's a really big difference because they're not damaging. Okay, you might lose the money that you might have made on that video. But what you don't lose is the ability to continue to run your channel.
Yeah.
So I think one of the reasons, and the reason for the title of this stream, which actually ended up being almost entirely about this.
Yeah.
One of the reasons that this is coming up so much right now is that it is my belief, and again, I can't say who or where I might have gotten this idea from, because I don't know if that hypothetical person is allowed to hypothetically tell me what I'm hypothetically about to repeat.
Okay.
But it is my understanding that YouTube has recently made some changes to the Content ID system, making it more sensitive. This is purely speculation on my part. I have no evidence for this whatsoever, but I would guess that part of this is in preparation for the changes that are being made to the Article 13 thing that's happening over in Europe.
Oh.
So they are making Content ID more sensitive, is my understanding of what's going on. And this is the evidence that I have for that is that I am actually getting a ton of content ID claims both ways. So I'm in sort of an unusual situation where I own two in particular, two YouTube channels that periodically borrow footage that was originally uploaded on the other. So I actually woke up the other day with the Tech Quickie inbox full of content ID claims from Linus Media Group Incorporated on the Linus Tech Tips channel.
No, son, don't do that.
So
that's actually hilarious. Oh my god.
So anyway, back to the Linux Gamer thing. I didn't know about the content ID claim. I wouldn't have given two hoots if the video did exist. I didn't know about the video until I woke up this morning, and the content ID claim not only had already been issued, but had already been retracted by the automated system. I don't remember where I was going with this. Basically, I gave no cares, didn't even know about it, and it was already resolved before I was even aware that there was an issue. So sorry, tinfoil hat folks out there. Linus Media Group is not in the business of running around and issuing DMCA takedowns to people who criticize our work or create memes based on our content or otherwise transform what we do. We believe very, very strongly in the power of community. We have turned criticism of our content into new content, like what we did with Louis Rossmann and his reaction video to our video card baking piece.
One of my favorite videos, on the internet, is a guy named Nitroblast. You can find it on YouTube. Took a video of me.
Nice douche. Just kidding.
Took a video of me whipping a pair of headphones around and smacking them into the ground and then stomping on them and then throwing them against the wall. I don't know if you remember that. But it was for these activewear earbud review that I did back in 2013.
Sure.
And he put the stomping and the throwing against the garage door to the original Wii soundtrack. It's hilarious. Just go to his channel, probably.
This seems like more work than it's probably worth. There's 100. Oh, no. 100 subscribers.
That's it right
videos.
there.
This is it. Luke Sports Tips. All right, here we go.
It's hilarious.
Nitroblast,
I love this video.
You DMCA us, you're done, son. All right? We're playing this video, and you'll like it.
So the headphones fall out. It's the spring
hear.
clip review. So each one, the throw and the stomp, which is behind your freaking notification, both have a sound effect. It's so funny. I love this thing. It's probably more funny to me because it's me. Also, we don't have sound right now. But I think it's hilarious. And then at the beginning of this show, I talked about some guy who made a song.
Yeah.
And in the song, he used our voices, and I think it's great. We're not going to go after any of that kind of stuff. Using our content in tasteful ways is cool.
Yep. And even in not tasteful ways, as long as you're within your fair use
By
rights.
taste, I meant ripping it off completely and just posting it raw.
Yes. We should really do our sponsor.
Oh, it was muted for them, too.
Oh, was it is YouTube actually muted? Oh, I don't know. Sorry, guys. There's nothing I can do about that right now. We really need to do our sponsor. Squarespace sponsors the WAN show. It starts at just $12 a month, and you get a free domain if you buy Squarespace for the year. Squarespace is a great way to build your own beautiful website. All their templates feature responsive design, so your website scales to look great on any device. They've all got e-commerce built in, so you can track your orders and inventory and all that good stuff. Cover Pages allows you to set up a beautiful one-page online presence in minutes. They've got their logo designer. They've got their tutorials and seminars. They've got 24/7 support via live chat and email. And you can start a trial with no credit card required and start building your website today at squarespace.com/WAN. Just use offer code WAN to get 10% off your first purchase. Also bringing you today's WAN show, Honey. Go to joinhoney.com to save money. It really is kind of that simple. Honey automatically applies coupon codes from around the web that are actually active, so you can save money at places like Amazon, Newegg, Best Buy, GameStop, Walmart, eBay, and more. People still shop at GameStop. Really? Wow. That's outstanding. Colton saved $10 on Amazon like 2 weeks ago. It takes 2 clicks to install. It's a browser extension for your website is what I was about to say. You know what? Just go to joinhoney.com/Linus. Install Honey for free. It'll always be free because they get their money from the websites you're shopping on. For some reason, websites are paying Honey to make sure people are saving money. Isn't this great? Everybody wins. Like, everybody's like, you know what? I'm going to remove Honey's lower third. I'm not in sponsor mode anymore. Honey, if you're watching, stop watching right now. We're done. But it's great. It's just like, it's like a big party where everyone's just like having a good time, you know?
Everyone's just skiing down the hill.
All right, back to sponsor mode. Private Internet Access. Private Internet Access supports a variety of VPN protocols and types of encryption. They've got apps for Windows, Mac OS, Android, iOS, Linux, and Google Chrome with support for several other platforms coming. You can connect up to 5 devices at a time through a single account, which is freaking awesome. And whatever, it's awesome. It's inexpensive. Go to lmg.gg/PIA WAN and get it now if you don't have a VPN. Also, maybe even if you do, you could get rid of your other VPN and use PIA instead. Sorry about that.
That was a little on the nose.
Look, everyone was having a good time, and no, that's not a nose.
Oh my goodness. It's so just so people know, a lot of the kickback that happens will be offer codes. So Honey will have Honey specific offer codes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's commonly how I believe it's done.
You have Floatplane news, which is
do.
fine because we're basically like done the show at this point.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. I want to talk about it.
Do you want?
I want to talk about it.
Do you want to do it?
I want to talk about it.
You can cruise around and ask questions, and I can talk about it.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it.
But I don't want you.
Don't worry. I'm not gonna show it. I'm not gonna show it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna sign in as
whatever one of those.
Man, we were having a long conversation because, guys, we are feeling pretty good about the Floatplane right now.
Yeah. Everyone in the Floatplane chat is spamming their early adopter emojis. There's
nice.
Like 10 million pew planes in chat. Oh my god. There's also no rate limiting on the chat, so let's go fast.
Yeah, we'll get that addressed.
That'll happen at some point.
We'll get in touch with Night, okay? We'll get some Nightbot support going on here.
Oh jeez.
It's gonna take some time though. Oh shoot. Did this not work? What's going on here? I thought
Pew plane. The emoji's called pew. So are you
working?
No, you're on the wrong thing.
Oh right. Sorry, I'm on the wrong thing. It's all good. Oh man.
Whoa! All right, I told chat there's no rate limiting, and then they took that to heart a little bit.
Yeah, guys, come on, chill. We're trying to have a stream here, okay? Nick, what can I do for you?
No, nothing.
Nothing? Okay, cool.
How's it going, man?
I'm a Counter-Strike Linux gamer.
No.
I make good money.
Oh, do we have
Good
any,
money.
Do we have any cool
Good
merch
money, good
updates or
money.
anything?
Next week.
Oh,
LTX update.
LTX updates.
Merch update next week. Woo!
Holy crap! Do we have an update? Did they do one? No. There's no LTX update this week. But
Wow.
But I have an update for LTX. So my update is that we are going to be filming the LTX announcement video that's going to go on the LTT channel. We're going to film it next week. That'll be coming soon, and it will include details like when you can buy tickets. It's coming pretty quick, fast, and I'm very, very excited. This is not working. Do you know why this isn't working?
It worked on mine. It's just
it's working now.
going really slow because this isn't on our actual good stuff, basically.
Okay, so this is like our pinner server.
Yeah, you don't want to show the front.
I could. You know what? Yeah, as long as I don't show this password, then I'm good, right?
Yeah.
So I could show me copy pasting this password.
Well, just show the front and look around, and then
this is the front?
No, this is.
Oh, is that before I sign in? How do you get to that? Oh, it's before the login page.
Yeah.
Okay, so just take this away. Okay, so guys, don't judge the responsiveness of the site right now. This is running on some pretty
It's on
garbage town stuff. Don't worry about it.
It is before the production.
Okay, so there's sign in, there's join.
Scroll. You're not.
No, I'm going to scroll. I'm
You're not even at the top.
explaining.
You're not even at the top of the page. They can't see the there. There you go.
Oh, okay, sorry. All right, say hello to Floatplane. Learn more or join.
So learn more right now.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it will scroll you down.
Yeah.
This search actually works, but it's a search for channels. and there's no channels in this environment, so it's not going to find
So it won't do anything.
anything.
Also, this is
here-
supposed to be like... You explain. You explain.
So
you go. You
right
go.
here, there's like a spindle of tiles that show what creators are on the site. But as there aren't any on this like pre-production version, it's just empty. So,
so there's
that
no
will
tiles.
be a thing. And then down here, there's just some stuff.
Yeah, just explain why we exist.
These pictures, the bottom one and the top one of those three are just photos that Brandon took. And then the middle one is a photo of Brandon.
Hey, it's Brendan! Nice!
So, yeah. It's just supposed to, it's just stylish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
it. Cool. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now we can...
And then unshare.
Can you actually read the legal stuff? Is that a real link?
It is.
Hey! We have terms of service and stuff now. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Look at that.
It's been on the site the whole time. It's just, it wasn't as easy to find. You should probably unshare now.
Right. Yeah, I'll unshare. Give me a sec. Okay. And we're back. Oh. Go away. No, I don't want to save a password. I love how when you press never, it still prompts you the next time you do a thing. Okay. So, if I go to, here we go. My home. Hold on a second. Browse creators. Wait. Where do I go?
What are you doing?
I want to browse creators. I want to go to Channel Superfun. Okay. Yay! Actually, this one isn't as set up as some of the other ones.
Because they're a lot. You're also not. Well, you're not subscribed to that one, right? You signed into TechWiki, so you're probably only subscribed to TechWiki. So the other ones
Okay.
were locked because you don't have permissions to see it.
Cool. So here's my home. Here's some videos.
So basically, the main new thing that happened on these pages, and this TechWiki page doesn't have a banner at the top. And
There's a
things
better
in
one.
it.
Hold on a second.
Because you logged into a different account. Did
Yeah,
you log
no,
into
this
TechWiki
one's
last time?
fine.
Okay, yeah,
But
it just shows logs.
Yeah, it
so
just
you don't
shows
have
logs.
permission to see that content. So it shows logs.
Yeah.
The main thing that we changed is we added a support column to the far right-hand side, so creators are going to be able to start setting up multiple plans if they would, if they would so choose. They don't have to.
Yep.
And something we're working on.
This is a placeholder, I guess, eh?
This is not the production environment.
Who put that there?
Guess.
AJ.
I don't actually even know.
Yeah,
I just wanted to see what you'd
It
say.
could be any one of
Yeah,
them.
it really
honestly.
could.
right.
I think I know who it was, but basically, one other thing, I don't know why I said basically, another thing that we're working on, as you can see, there's a TechCookie account.
Yes.
I don't know when this is going to be done. I don't know how feasible this is going to be, but we want you guys to be able to split your accounts up.
Cool.
And then there would be, now that we have multiple tiers, you'd be able to subscribe to the tier that has all of the basic access to all of the different accounts.
Sure. Can I poke around in the CMS too?
Yeah.
So uploading videos works pretty well these days. Do I have any videos in here? No, this is a demo laptop.
Yeah.
Video library. You can
One cool thing is you can go into edit,
things.
and now you can select what tier. So this one only has one tier.
Cool.
But you can select what tiers are able to see the thing.
You got your live settings. Yeah, I want to leave.
Don't go to the other button in there.
Don't go to settings.
Uh,
I'm not going to streaming keys. Don't worry. You got your settings where you can make your. Wow. 0101100010. We're robots. Lorem ipsum, whatever. Perfect. Thank you. Show monthly income. You can turn that on or off. That's pretty cool.
So just above where the support button is, it shows you can have how many subscribers you have and how much you make. But Floatplane isn't really designed around being a donations platform. It's more of a subscription to a service. So it doesn't fully fall in line with that. So if you want to set up your account that way, you can. But by default, we have it off.
Price $2,000.
Nice.
You get nothing.
Nice.
There we go. All right, I have just. This is going to be the starred tier.
Awesome.
The get wrecked tier.
Now
The
this
tears tier.
I like it. Now this plan will not be seen publicly because it's not published yet.
Okay.
Because we want people to be very careful.
Publishing a plan is permanent.
Yeah.
You will have to contact Floatplane administrators to make certain changes. Okay.
And that's because they would be.
I published it. You're done.
That's fine.
I'm contacting the Float. Can I make some changes, please, sir?
Damn it! And the reason for that is to try to protect the people subscribing to the creator, so the creator understands the implications of just ripping a plan out of out of people who
Cool.
are currently paying for something.
So if we go out of the Creator CMS, we go to the
You're
Tech
out.
Quickie channel,
Oh, there you go.
then we have the Get Wrecked tier.
Yeah.
And I believe that all I have to do is I can like add a card, and like this stuff actually kind of looks like it's a thing. So like, I think the question burning in everyone's minds now then is, when do we go into beta?
I need this stuff in. I need the new upload and transcode systems. I need the support page. I need the FAQ page. Streaming's going to get a little bit better. We're working on this multi-CDN thing that's going on. It's coming. We'll be there soon. The main benchmark for me for beta is that a few major pain points need to be solved. Every video can't have this new bubble on it. The search thing should probably work. Like extremely basic functionality needs to be in place, and we still have a bit of that.
I didn't even know there was a
the way.
search bar here. Oh yeah, there isn't.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, got it.
It's actually been there like the whole time.
Got it. Never noticed.
Yeah.
Never noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're actually getting pretty close, and I think the new multi-column layout and the front page should add a little bit of good feeling to the site not being quite as alpha as it was.
It's pretty helpful right now.
And we have some more of those types of things, some more on the creator side, like the upload and transcode stuff, which is going to be awesome.
Like, here, let's real talk. Let's be honest. The way our transcode works right now is if Tech Deals uploads one of his epic 4-hour 4K World of Warships streams to Floatplane,
It's like 75 gigs.
Linus Tech Tips has to wait like 3 hours to transcode a video.
Sometimes more. Because everything is done in series. So that won't happen anymore.
So like, there's reasons that we haven't just brought on a bunch of creators, because there's honestly stuff that's really ready, and then there's stuff that's not as ready. It's one thing to have a video playback site.
Yeah.
Honestly, Luke could have set that up in 48 hours. In fact, 3 years ago, he did.
Yay. It just sucked. Thanks, man.
The hard thing is scaling. And the really cool thing about this,
If you want to play a video to one person, pretty easy.
Yeah. The really cool thing, though, is that Luke has had both the blessing and curse of having one medium to large scale creator to use as, and really like mad props to all of our viewers who have been with us through,
Genuinely really appreciate it.
through Floatplane's Growing Pains, because you guys have been the testers for this. Not only that, you have funded a significant amount of the development of this platform indirectly. Like, we're still burning money. Like, it's still a startup. Whoop-a-doop-a-doop.
Oh, yeah.
But it has some revenue, and it has this proof of concept that we know that the model can work. And you guys have been just an incredible part of that and making it happen. So anyway, we've had both the benefit and the drawback of having this scale that we have to live up to, and that has taught us a lot about how to get ourselves ready to bring on other creators. There's been some buzz from some pretty big names around creating alternatives to YouTube. And there was even one that was supposed to be, as far as I know, launched by now.
A month ago.
Like a month ago.
Yeah.
And it's not.
If we've learned anything about making this platform, is setting launch dates is real scary and usually doesn't work out.
And also that, like, what we're doing is not easy. And so again, like, mad props this time to the Floatplane dev team, because what you guys are doing would normally be done by a team of 30, 40 people with $50 million of VC backing. Like, that's the kind of project we're working on. And so, yeah, it's taken some time, but because of our amazing community, because of the tenacity of our devs, we are actually finally getting close to being able to bring on other creators and start to scale the thing out. And because Luke, whose strength really wasn't organization when I met him, but he's learned a lot.
Speaking of understatements.
And we've taken a really building block style approach. In the early days, not so much, but we learned. And we've taken a really modular building block style approach to building the platform that makes it so that we will be able to scale it when the time comes and add functionality much more easily than if you just kind of throw something together in 48 hours.
Someone in chat was like, Luke's strength was grossly misrepresenting his experience.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the funny thing is that Luke, we had a freeze on OBS. So if people are complaining about a freeze in the stream, that was OBS, in
Okay,
case you're
good to
curious.
know. Someone in
there's
Floatplane is
another one.
spamming, I need notification. All right, sounds good, dude. Go turn it on in your settings.
Oh, yeah, notifications are working.
They technically exist. There's improvements that need to happen to those, just like almost everything else. But they technically exist. If you go into your settings, you can set on push notifications or email notifications per creator.
Woo!
Yeah.
Should we talk about the... our community is going to freak out about this.
Paul just messaged me and said we should look into his conversation with Nile. So I think we should almost dive into that a little bit more.
Sure.
Almost. Okay.
Do you want to talk about this?
We can talk about. It's not ready yet, but we can talk
that's
about
fine.
it.
That's fine.
So there's been some requests for Floatplane to
Some?
do. There's been a lot of requests for Floatplane to
A lot?
more open source stuff. There's also been a lot of requests for apps to exist and other things. And one of the members on the team that I don't know if I'm. He's been on the team definitely long enough for me to say his name, but I don't know if he wants his name to be public,
Yeah,
so I
let's
won't
just-
say it yet. I will figure that out later and then know later. But has been working on setting up the base of our mobile apps, and then we're going to be working on making it open source so people can contribute to them if they would like, but we're trying to get the base really solid first, and then open the API and do some other things like that so people can work with that if they would like.
It's not necessarily about trying to save work
No.
or trying to save money. We were definitely willing to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
It just was going to take longer, and we've had a lot of members of our community go like, hey, honestly, I'd just love to help with this so that I could just have an app.
There's people that have
And we're like,
just made ones, and
Okay.
I'm like, okay, that's actually like really cool and impressive and stuff, but no,
you can't do that.
yeah, we're running down that path.
Like,
real
if there's
quick.
going to be third-party support for this initiative anyway, we just want to make sure that we're doing it properly.
Yeah.
And so this is a way for us to get something done faster. And it's the weirdest thing. Give the community what they want, which seems
Is
to be to
work.
help us out.
Which is weird, but
Which
like
is crazy.
sure.
But you
Yeah.
guys are cool. You guys are awesome. So really, really excited about that. Do you want to pull up Paul's Twitter conversation there?
Sure. Give me 1 second.
When is Paul joining Floatplane?
Well, he wants to. We just need to be ready.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so it's us.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah. Whoopsie.
While you're looking that up, why don't I do a couple super chats? Because I saw a couple ridiculous ones come in. Biking with Panda. What kind of name is that? Love from the Open ZFS team. I hope Luke becomes a platform someday. Can you send me some jerky and coffee? Thanks, guys. That was a disjointed message. Thank you for that. Wow. Katan11 says, love your guys' content. Been watching you for years. Thank you. You rock. Jonas has got Floatplane last weekend. First time watching on Floatplane. It's so good. Good work.
Thanks.
Flagboy. Copyright in America is nuts. Big companies suing youth groups. Huh. Wow. Really? Like cheerleaders, dancing, winter guard, etc. for hundreds of thousands of dollars because they use their music. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's rough.
Oh yeah. I don't know about the hundreds of thousands of dollars thing. I don't know about any of the values, but there's been tons of stuff. Yeah.
The Insider says they got banned by the Verge PC build guide creator guy, Stefan. So yeah, no, I believe they were just like blocking people on Twitter and stuff like that.
So I've even heard of cases where like a dude was playing a radio in the back of his shop to literally just himself, but because it was on a commercial premises, they like tried to hit him with something because
Seriously?
a song was played. I don't remember. There's been some like absolutely crazy stuff. I have no idea.
Wow, that's kind of nuts. Sam the Bird says, "Hey Luke, go on a date with me."
Hey, sorry.
Gunner does games. Want to go to LTX but can't get off work. Oh, that's a bummer. Well, thanks for your support anyway, and we will have like a virtual ticket, so stay tuned for that. Luke's alter ego says ZTO. Cuke the Canuck, the world's most stereotypical Canadian. I like it. I like it.
Great. I'm down.
SPM says, Riv strong, Lyle. Riv strong indeed.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, boy. PC Genius says, love you, Luke. When is Jay's 2 cents coming to Float Plane?
He's been. That's another one. Jay's wanted to join for a long time. It's just I don't want their entrances to the platform to be really bad. I want it to be a good experience for the users and for them. And Floatplane isn't quite there yet. We're getting really close. We're starting to feel it. The front page is coming on the website. We've got the multi-tiers thing
Having a
coming
front
along.
page.
Having
It's
a front page.
What we could have literally done with Squarespace in 20 minutes.
Yes, but we wanted to do it on our own site and all that kind of stuff. It's coming along. It's coming along.
With the cover pages featured.
It basically is the cover pages feature. Anyways.
David says, I sent an email asking about the VIP ticket for LTX. Wanted to know if it included a 2-day pass and DreamHack BYOC at night. I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. Stay tuned. I think the VIP tickets are going to go really fast. They're like not going to be cheap. They are hundreds of dollars, and I'm sorry, but that's already like they'll already
Almost
sell in
too
like
cheap.
an hour.
Yeah. They're almost under. They're expensive, but they're almost under. I don't even know how to
We
word it.
talked about like doubling the price this
Yeah.
year, just to
You're probably gonna have to next year.
just to give people who like aren't sitting there with their finger on the trigger ready to go a chance to get one. But then we were like, no. So it's actually, I believe, going to be the same price as last year.
It's a hard case because if you
Yeah.
don't price it high enough, people are just gonna buy them way too fast.
And then there's just a ton
And
of
then
people that are mad. 'Cause
the
they
only
can't get
people
one.
with like watching bots are going to be the ones that notice it, or scalpers are just going to buy it. If you price it way too high, then you look like a jerk.
People will not be able to scalp them.
Oh,
Yeah, because the VIP ticket is personalized to you, the person
Okay.
who bought it.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm good for now. There's actually a bunch more. Yeah, sorry guys. There's like actually a lot more, but we actually need to go home at some point. We went way over time. Do you have
we
any?
still have to do this pulse thing. There's one person in Floatplane chat who said they don't have the emote even though they've been subbed since the forum, and I recognize your name, and I know that's true. Contact support@floatplane.com. We'll get that taken care of. Okay.
We even have a domain now with a support email.
See? Things are coming along. Things are coming along. Okay, let's jump to here really quick.
Yeah, sure. I'm on your screen.
Okay, so we've already read this first tweet.
This is hilarious.
This was great. I love how well it lined up with what we were saying. So Paul said, this all could have been avoided if, well, okay, he's quoting, this all could have been avoided if they simply reached out to me directly, says Nile, hypocrisy, basically because the same thing could have happened the other way around.
Yeah.
Then he just did a screenshot of the article.
Yep.
Moving on. There's a few other responses. Nile responds directly. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. Sorry if I'm not. It's not a reality show. None of the stakeholders actually reached out. And again, it's reversed the strike. I reversed the strike on Wednesday. Paul said, did you make any attempt to reach out to them before having your legal team take action that affected their ability to make a living? If not, saying they should have reached out to us first carries zero weight. Nile says, I do not think our team should use the strike system. No, which is why I reversed it. What? Okay, that didn't answer Paul's question. All right, moving on.
That's what he says. He's like, you didn't answer my question.
Hey, Paul! Hey! You didn't answer my question.
This is a mind meld we got going on here right now.
You seem to not want to admit any fault or accept responsibility for anything in this situation, so you're blaming your team for issuing the strike, but you're the one who took action to remove it. I removed the strike. I did not make a series of videos that led to an obvious coordinated harassment campaign.
What are you even talking about? What led to the coordinated harassment campaign was you didn't pull your video immediately when it was obviously horrible.
And yeah, it was like problematic as it was a guide. Paul said, well, then you're obviously the victim here at the mercy of
Okay, basically what I just
tech
said.
YouTuber coordinated harassment grid, which we activated because we are evil. Couldn't possibly be that you're in the wrong, and a bunch of people agree that based on preponderance of evidence. Again, I reversed the strike on Wednesday. No one's saying you didn't. I appreciate that you did that quickly, but no one's saying you didn't. Before any of this went sideways, the criticism, whatever it is, of a thing that I undid.
Is of a thing that I undid.
Is of a thing that I undid. And the
So
nature
video.
of that criticism is coordinated and toxic.
What do you mean coordinated? No one's coordinating this.
I'm the like what's that app where all the all the tech YouTubers have this Signal account that we all message?
Yeah, well, it's not an app. Like it's it's a big. It's okay. So here,
Assassin's Creed carrier pigeons.
It's got a cylinder. Okay.
Yeah.
It's got a cylinder, and then there's this metal kind of frame piece that goes across the front.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, and it stands about this high. So you got the cylinder with this frame piece on the front here, and then it's got a big light in the back, and you aim it at the sky.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, it's got a bat.
Tech YouTuber under attack! Come support immediately!
Freaking ridiculous.
Anyways, the coordinated and toxic attack. I am firm in saying that is unacceptable. Paul now says, well, I completely disagree, but thanks for replying here at least. I think everyone now has a much clearer idea of what your official stance is on the matter. I think his official stance is that he took it back on Wednesday! I reversed it on Wednesday!
And we took the original video down! Alright. So on that note, the WAN show's over. We'll see you guys again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Maybe that's why I always say that. Maybe if I don't say that, everyone coordinates.
And they go, something's happening.
Something's happening.
He didn't say the Batman outro.
Yeah. Well, I did today. So everything's fine.
We're good.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
That was a long show.
Yeah, it was. We had something to talk about.
I know, right? Call bullshiters. That was great. I totally forgot about that.
Me too.
Holy honey.
See, but they did the right thing. They didn't start copy striking people months after the event to remind everyone about bully hunters. Oh man, good show.